What is happening, guys? It's Dealer here, back again talking about Xbox 2 because it is going to be doing the flat out impossible according to good old faithful, good old reliable Micheal Pachter. Pachter Squad? Pachter Squad? I don't know what that is. I'm just saying that we're all frauds because we all jump on these fraudulent claims made by people that have no clue what they're talking about. But hey, at the very least, it's an excuse to show you some of this Song of the Deep gameplay. It's Insomniac's last game on the Xbox. Pretty fun. So hey, what exactly did Micheal Pachter even say to cause all of this? Well, let's get into that. So I think Micheal Pachter is a securities analyst, but they go to him for video game stuff sometimes. Not really sure why, but this is what he had to say. He says, so I think there will be a $100 Xbox that doesn't run in 240 FPS or 4K. Oh, you don't say. He goes on to say, and I think there will be a more expensive $400 model that does do 4K 240 FPS virtual reality. He then goes on to say he doesn't know if there's going to be different models, yeah. So here's the deal. Yes, none of these consoles are going to be doing 240 FPS, and it doesn't really matter if they had 20 teraflops. It's just not practical. Now we know the 240 Hz claim is already pretty ridiculous, but add to that he's implying that it will be doing so in 4K resolution. That is an absolutely monstrous amount of performance there that you're not going to find in consoles for several generations, and you're not going to find in PC today, not even close. So once more, it's kind of ridiculous, and we're going to give Pachter a proper send-off at the end of the video. Now, Pachter does mention different models of Xboxes. Let's talk about what you can expect. For those of you that didn't know, there are rumored to be around 3 Xbox consoles, one of them being a streaming box. Some reports say the $100 box isn't a thing, some do. Then you've got Xbox Lockhart, the low-end Xbox 2 that is said to be around the same power as the X for an extremely competitive price point. And then you've got Xbox Anaconda, the monster that's going to be well over $400, probably around $500. It's going to have some very substantial improvements to performance and load times. Will either of these have 240 FPS? No. No AAA game from a developer that is trying to make their game look absolutely phenomenal is going to drop resolutions or settings low enough to achieve 240 FPS. And we're talking AAA games here. That's irrational. Even if he's talking about virtual reality in 240 FPS, that's still irrational and not needed. Could they even achieve 240 Hz on a Ryzen CPU in the next-gen consoles? Well, that would all depend on the title. Better question is, do you have the display to support it? Most displays that say 240 Hz aren't even native 240 Hz panels. They're really 120 interpolated to 240. And most displays in the United States are still 60 Hz native, meaning no matter what, you are bottlenecked at your display. You will never see 240 Hz, let alone a native 120 Hz. My display does a native 120 Hz at 1080p, but that's a very high-end display. And that's still only at 1080p. For a game to support it, it's not going to be a high-end title. For a virtual reality headset to support it, it's going to be ridiculously expensive, and most people don't even have displays to see this kind of refresh rate. Now, could it be usable on some monitors? Sure. They do have a 120 Hz mode on the Xbox One X. Who knows what they'll do there? Honestly, in my opinion, I think 60 FPS is just fine, especially for most consumers. Now, it gets tricky when you're used to 100, 120 FPS or higher, and keep in mind that it's not even that each individual frame is even perceptible, but things on screen being that much smoother, updating that much more often, that is noticeable, and that's what many PC gamers are talking about when they mention 144 Hz, 240 Hz. No, they can't see each frame, but they do notice that additional fluidity, and I guess I could see people like that having an issue playing at something like 60 FPS, though it sounds ridiculous to me. Some people notice a big difference. To me personally, 60 FPS is fine. If you spend any performance going above 60 FPS on console, I think it is a waste of performance. Now, does that mean you can't offer some gamers a 120 FPS mode at 1080p? No, why not? Should be pretty easy to do. Maybe you have a monitor you want to try out, something like that. But otherwise, I would simply max out all graphical settings in my title if I were a developer, then get it up to 60 FPS, and then scale the resolution as high as possible. Now, hopefully that is what developers do. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the issue. I've been getting a lot of DMs about this. For the 4 of you left out there that take Micheal Pachter's predictions seriously in the world of video games, join me as we send him off in a ball of fire. Rest in peace, Michael Pachter. May no one ever take your video game guesses seriously ever again. Ever again. Oh, you're still here. Hey, if you liked the video, hit that like button. It really helps more than you know. Maybe share this with a buddy or two. And, of course, if you're new, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Dealer. I'm out.